Hi everyone, and welcome. The video we are presenting today is about relational frame theory. Relational frame theory, RFT, was developed by psychologists Stephen C. Hayes, Dermot Barnholmes, and Brian Roche in the late 1980s and early 1990s. RFT is part of the larger theoretical framework of contextual behavioral science, which emphasizes the role of context and language in shaping human behavior and experience. Over the years, RFT has been applied to a variety of areas, including psychotherapy, education, and organizational behavior. Today, RFT is recognized as a major theoretical framework in the field of psychology and continues to be refined and expanded upon by researchers around the world. So, what is RFT? Essentially, it's a theory about how we make sense of the world around us. It says that we don't just passively receive information from our environment, but actively construct our own reality based on the relationships between things. These relationships can be things like cause and effect, similarity, and opposition, among others. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds interesting, but why does it matter? Well, it matters because the way we construct our reality affects our personal truth. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're walking down the street and you see a man yelling at someone on the phone. Your initial reaction might be to think, wow, that guy is really angry. But what if I told you that the man was actually a voice actor rehearsing a scene for a movie? Suddenly, your perception of the situation changes, and your personal truth about what happened shifts. This is just one example of how our own constructions of reality can affect our personal truth. But it's not just about external events. Our own thoughts and feelings can also be affected by RFT. For instance, if you've ever had a negative thought spiral, where one negative thought leads to another and another, you know how it can feel like reality is closing in on you. But if you can recognize the relationships between your thoughts and challenge them, you can break free from that spiral and construct a more positive reality for yourself. Relational frame theory teaches us that our personal truth is not a fixed thing, but rather a constantly evolving construct based on the relationships we create between things. Let's dive deeper into relational frame theory, RFT, and explore how it affects our personal truth. First, let's define what we mean by personal truth. Personal truth refers to the beliefs and perspectives that we hold about ourselves, others, and the world around us. These beliefs and perspectives are based on our individual experiences and interpretations of events and are shaped by a variety of factors, including our upbringing, culture, and personality. RFT proposes that our personal truth is not a passive reflection of the external world, but rather an actively constructed reality based on the relationships between things. These relationships are known as relational frames and are formed through our experiences of the world. Some examples of relational frames include opposition, things that are opposite to one another, such as hot and cold, or big and small. Similarity, things that share common features or characteristics, such as apples and oranges, or dogs and cats. Comparison, evaluating something in relation to something else, such as saying that a person is tall compared to someone else. Temporal relations, relationships between events in time, such as cause and effect, before and after, or past and present. These relational frames allow us to categorize and make sense of the world around us. They shape our perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors, and ultimately contribute to our personal truth. But what happens when our relational frames are flawed or incomplete? This can lead to inaccurate perceptions and beliefs about the world, which can have negative consequences for our mental health and well-being. For example, if someone has a relational frame that failure is bad and they experience a setback, they may interpret it as a personal failure and experience feelings of shame and worthlessness. So, how can we use RFT to improve our personal truth? One way is to become more mindful of our relational frames and how they shape our perceptions and beliefs. By questioning our assumptions and considering alternative perspectives, we can gain a more accurate and nuanced understanding of the world around us. Another way is to use mindfulness and cognitive behavioral techniques to challenge negative relational frames and develop more adaptive ones. For example, someone with a negative self-image might challenge their belief that they are a failure by looking for evidence to the contrary and developing more balanced and realistic self-talk. In conclusion, Relational frame theory teaches us that our personal truth is not a fixed reality but rather an actively constructed truth based on our relational frames. By becoming more mindful of these frames and challenging negative ones, we can improve our mental health and well-being and develop a more accurate and adaptive understanding of the world around us. Thanks for watching, and don't be afraid to challenge your own truths. Until the next video, best of luck. And please subscribe and like my video. That will help me much.